Welcome to Thoughts on Thursday. It's season 3, episode 1. Really excited to kick off with a bundle of energy, albeit a little bit late, with a real session about us, about our community and kind of what we want to do this year. So usually for these sessions, as you know, those who've been in them before, we have a pretty open discussion about industry topics, what we see going on, what we see coming next, handled topics around diversity and operations and commercial, the recovery, talked about women in hospitality leadership, a really broad range of really important topics to the industry. And I think it's those insights over the last 20 episodes, as well as all the conversations we've been watching since March last year on the community, that helped us create what you now see as Otolo, our new online community and mentoring space for anyone who's passionate about pursuing their career in hospitality. So the two things we really wanted to do this afternoon was, one, share with you a little bit about what you can do with the platform. You just understand the different things we've put in place to enable you to connect, get support, get development and work on your career. Two is we wanted to hear from all of you, those of you who feel up for it. We'd love you to make introductions, can kind of share the profile you created on the community and kind of link this session that we have each week with what's happening on our new platform, so that it can be the start of discussions and connections that you will all kind of then go on and hopefully benefit from. I want to share a little bit about our mission, because I think we've come a really long way since March last year, where I connected with a few of you and said, look, should we do something about hospitality mentoring? Should we put out our time to connect and work with people earlier in their careers who are facing tremendous anxiety, tremendous uncertainty, and trying to work all this out? I think that DNA still remains the same. What you'll see with Otolo is a 100% inclusive community that's always free for individuals to access. And the goal is that we can bring people in right at the start of their careers in hospitality, whether they be students, recent grads, or direct entrance into work. It's really designed to be a place where you can start or continue to build your network, where you can reach out and find out about hot topics. So that layer of inclusivity for anyone at any career stage will always remain key. The next kind of phase is all about elevation. So it's all about you being able to access the kind of people, materials, skills that will enable you to outperform in your career, to be able to bring those skills to finding work, to succeeding at work, to winning at projects or completing assignments at university. But it's all about a place where you can be really proactive. And the final piece of the puzzle is we want to help you find opportunities. Once you've accessed those skills, it's really all about where next for you in the industry. Are there people in the industry that can help you with their next connections? Is it as simple as job boards and finding opportunities, finding work experience and placements, or collaborating with someone on something new and maybe working on a project together? But that idea of bringing everyone in the industry in, elevating the whole industry up, and then finding a place that people can find new opportunities and go on to exciting things is really core to our DNA. And I think the last thing I'd say in our mission is we're really keen to reimagine mentorship. I think we've learned loads from you all, with you all over the last 10 months. But the critical thing for me is that mentorship needs a reboot. People don't want to be told they're going to get mentored. People don't want to get matched with someone who they've got no connection with and some algorithm thinks is the right solution. We've built a whole community around it. And what we want is for mentors to show up with their own learning mindset, their own need in a way to build their credibility, to show that they have skills to learn, knowledge to share, stories to tell, questions to ask of others in the industry. Others in the industry can come on in and really kind of work on their own skills and be given that space and time. We'll talk a lot about mutual mentoring. The idea that it's not just about young people chatting to people who have got more experience. Reverse mentoring is all about what people who are early in their careers are seeing and can teach those of us that have been around a bit more. And peer-to-peer mentoring can actually just be about connecting with people your own age or your own career level and going through that journey with them. So those are the kind of 4 themes, I suppose, of our mission that we'll be talking about a lot. It's kind of being really inclusive and bringing everyone in, elevating people through their careers, reimagining mentorship, and then finding opportunities so people can go on to great things. 3 simple goals today. One is we want to help you get the most out of the platform. So bear with us. We want to show you what you can do and then let you get started. We want to help you make some new connections. So I would love you to speak up and share a little bit about your own profiles and why you're here. But we also want to capture some insight and actually have a few of you share, what journey you're on. What does 2020 meant to you? What does 2021 mean to you? Because every week you got my commitment that Thoughts on Thursday is a discussion. It's not designed to be a webinar where we tell you everything you need to know for the week. It's us collaborating as an industry so that we can get stronger together. Just take a mo and think about yourself. Think about your skills, soft skills, hard skills. What do you want to learn? What's next in your kind of development journey? Coaching. Thanks, Charlotte. I saw you've applied to be a mentor. We'll be chatting about that in a bit. Sign language. Nice one, Kat. That's a great skill. Copywriting. Fantastic. Yeah, CFA level 1. Great job, Dimitri. That's going to be a lot of studying. So we're going to do a quick walkthrough of some of the features we've been pulling together in secret for the last few months. I'm sure you all enjoyed Slack, and it was a great place to start our journey in terms of building mentoring groups, but really important, I think, that we built a place that worked for us. So hopefully you love Otolo and you love what it can do. So I'm going to start with profiles. If you want to connect and if you want to get your thoughts out there, if you want people to get in touch with you, please do make a great profile. Some top tips. One is have a picture. Obviously, not everyone is as good looking as Bill, but have a nice picture. No corporate portraits here, please. We just want to see you kind of natural and personable. On the skills side down the left, there's a chance for you to put in the kind of skills you've picked up either through your studies or through your work. We typically recommend probably a maximum of 7 skills or so. On the right-hand side, something I really want to focus here, there's a section around mentorship. You can see Bill has filled it out. So put kind of what stage you're at. You know, have you applied to be a mentor? Are you seeing yourself very much as a mentee, or a bit of both, which we can talk about in a bit. And then 2 boxes that I really like to see filled in is, one is, what do you know about, right? What do you feel like you've got to share? I would like everyone to have a couple of things in here, because everyone, whether it be from your student days, from your first job, or from 20, 30, 40 years in the industry, everyone has things they can share. You'd be amazed. And one of our big learnings from last year is some of our most humble members were the most useful, being mentors and imparting some of their stories and knowledge. Please put a couple of things you'd like to know. A couple of the things here further down. One is, please put where you've studied, especially if you've done a hospitality course, and we'll talk about that in a mo. And of course, put the hotel companies or any companies that you've worked at, hospitality or other. On it, there's a really nice little portfolio section as well. We really see Otolo as a place where your online portfolio can live. So if you've ever had a starring role in any industry webinars or Thoughts on Thursday, if you've ever written a blog or an article about what you're seeing in the industry, and we definitely encourage that, please do start your online portfolio, because we would love, as other members or potentially in time future employers, kind of turn up on Otolo. So that's profile. Please spend a few minutes checking that out. I think it'll really help people connect with you and get the kind of organic matching process we're hoping for going. Next up, we're going to whiz over to the group section. So if you haven't had a look at the group section, we've put together a few things for you that I think would be great. We'll start with the community groups. So you may remember on Slack in November, we made a really interesting change where we had many more open groups, because we wanted to encourage people to just jump in and discuss anything that's on their mind about a particular topic. So if you're interested in employability and finding work, if you're interested in women in hospitality leadership, or the commercial function, or operations, if there's something where you just want to stay on top of hot topics, please do jump into those communities, hit join, I think in the top right, and then just either listen in or more likely contribute with articles you've read or points of view. You can also see kind of linked events and that kind of stuff. So there's lots of those to explore. Any suggestions for more, give us a shout. We also have a number of university groups. Now, if you've graduated from many of the hospitality programs in the UK or Swiss hotel schools like Lyon and La Roche, or over in the States, people from kind of Philadelphia through to Vatel, down in Australia, people like Griffiths University. If you're from a hotel school, it may be that we're working with your alumni team or your professors already. Do kind of knock on the door and ask to join those, and one of the team will make sure we let you in. If your university isn't here, drop us a note and we can work with you to get a group set up. May just be kind of a quick call to your alumni department. But within there, we want alumni to be connecting and reconnecting, potentially alumni to support current students. So sometimes you have these little mini subgroups where if you're an alumni, you can kind of dive into that alumni subgroup. If you're a student, you can dive into that group. That might be more about sharing kind of what you're currently working on or a bit different. So we definitely want to promote those university groups. I'm really excited to have so many official university partnerships, and universities really excited about building a strong online community for the industry. Two other places of interest, we have country groups as well, which is where we kind of discuss domestic topics. So we didn't want to flood the main news feed with funding opportunities in the UK, and we didn't want to flood the main news feed with Joe Biden's kind of rescue packages in the States. But we know that some of those things are really relevant for the country you're in. At the moment, we're kind of basing this on where we're seeing members joining from, and where we've got some of our kind of early customers. We are happy to set up groups for as many countries as we see interest for. So drop Bill a note if you think that you've got good critical mass in your country. We're happy to do one for Finland, but if it's just Laura kicking around, she might get a little bit bored. So we'll only do it kind of once we feel like we've got a good critical mass of people in a country. And then lastly, I want to show you the jobs board. Now, we're just at the start of working out how we can best present opportunities to the community. We're trying to encourage a central place where anyone can just post a job that they see. So if you're just on LinkedIn and you see someone's recruiting a revenue manager, an HR person, or someone in hotel tech, just throw it in here. If you're recruiting yourself, or you know of someone that is, encourage them to join Otolo and drop their job ads in here. Now, I'm assuming you know how the events tabs work because we're all here. We're going to have a whole series of events every Thursday. Please book yourself in for thoughts on Thursday and spread the word on your socials, and we'll continue this discussion. Also really excited to have Dan, who's on the call now. Dan, do you want to give a minute on what you're going to be chatting about in your employability series?
Thanks very much for that, James. Yeah, no problem. So basically a series of events based around employability, starting with self-belief and confidence, something that sometimes holds us back for perhaps applying for the things that we're doing, or when we're trying to express ourselves through an application. I'll do an event based on a certain part of a job application, and then the following day I'll be available for an hour for an open forum for questions and discussion. Yeah, so it's only an hour out of your day on a Monday, and then an hour out of your day on Tuesday. So please come and join.
So that's fab. So that's how the events work. We are open to third-party events. If you would love to step out of your comfort zone and run an event, or you know someone who already is, please send them our way. Meet People is our directory. It's fab. If Bill zooms out, we've got our 150 members. You can see where in the world. I think we've just about hit on every single continent. From kind of South America to North America, Africa, Europe, Australia, and Asia. So really excited about that in just kind of 3 days. I think we're on to something great. But actually, mentorship is really just about grabbing some time with someone who can help you on your journey. It's actually just about getting a bit of guidance, support, having someone ask you some questions. You can reach out to any of these mentors for time. And that's obviously part of the commitment of being a mentor, is they'll absolutely take your call and they'll absolutely kind of work through whatever is in front of you right now. And then finally, the last place on the community is the newsfeed. So if in doubt, just have a quick look at what people are saying. It's got ideas of people you might want to connect to. It's got ideas of events that are up and coming. Thoughts on Thursdays running late. We'll probably put a post in here, but it's really at the heart of the community where you can just kind of see what's going on. Feel free to share it with any one of the team, and we'll share more in the weeks to come. One sentence on why have you joined Otolo? Why and how have you found yourself here?
My name's Kat. Most of you guys know me because I'm currently working with Otolo on the community support. I joined the community before joining Otolo as a team member, actually, because I was really keen, especially during this time when I had a little more time and a little more space to get to know people in the industry. I wanted to be able to connect with people like yourselves, like-minded individuals globally who I could share my ideas and my thoughts with.
Everyone, I'm Charlotte. I'm currently in Germany. I'm an assistant front office manager here at the Baltic Sea. And I'm with Otolo since the beginnings, basically. I got to know James when I was still in Oxford Brookes University, because he came and held like a presentation. So yeah, I remembered him, and then I saw the growth works appearing on my LinkedIn, and I thought, oh, I'll join. And now I'm part of Otolo. So yeah, I'm really happy that I can be a part of this network, because I think it will benefit me a lot in my future career and stuff. And I'm also wanting to become a mentor, ideally this year. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And I'm working on ideas and things I can bring to this community.
My name is Dmitry, Dimi for short. I worked 10 years in operations on property in mainly F&B, but then I kind of pivoted a little bit towards the business and finance. So currently I'm working as commercial analyst for Hilton. I'm really excited to be in Otolo because being in finance, I feel myself detached from property. So I don't really understand as good what's happening on properties, what's the vibe, because I see pure numbers, what's RevPAR, what's ADR, occupancy, good, but I want to know what's the general, how people feel about it in general, whether they're happy with work, what's happening there. That's why I'm here. And also I want to learn and hopefully find a mentor in finance who can help me out, advise on what my next step should be in career, or potentially can challenge me on my knowledge and my ideas.
So that pretty much brings us to the end of our time together. Please do continue to join us on a Thursday afternoon and spread the word. We've got a really exciting season 3 lined up, covering some of our thoughts on where mentoring could go next, both as a mentor and as a mentee. We'll be tackling areas like diversity. We'll be looking at some of the disruptive innovations happening outside of our industry and how we can bring it in. But I think the key thing is really, please do update your profiles. So we will see you at 5 p.m. UK time sharp next week. In the meantime, please stay safe, have a great week, and enjoy the platform, and we'll see you then.